Hello, hey, greetings everyone. Welcome to Kadira's Creations YouTube channel. This is going to be a tutorial of a boho knots macrame necklace. And I want to say thank you to everyone who followed me on Facebook and Instagram, mostly Instagram, for my boho knots macrame necklace challenge. So this is going to be a free tutorial for day 5. Day 5, this is the macrame necklace that people voted for the most. So here is my free tutorial. I'm going to give you the materials and I'm going to take you step by step through this. You'll follow along, you'll have fun, and at the end of it, you'll have an awesome necklace to wear and everybody will be wowed by it. I hope. So anyways, here we go. Okay, everyone, let's get started. For this, we are going to use one piece of macrame cord that is going to be 27 inches long, and this is going to be the neck string. This is what you're going to be tying the other knots on to create your piece. Also, you're going to need 5 long pieces of macrame cord. And these were measured to be 65 inches. You will also need 3 large beads and 5 small beads. Of course, scissors to cut everything. And you will see how I put on the beads. I use aluminum foil to bring the ends together, but we'll get into that later. So right now I'm just going to put the string on the stick. So the stick is just going to help me to secure the neck string, so it's easy for me to do all of this on it. I am using a clothing rack and some hooks. So some people don't use a clothing rack. They use just a carpet or a pillow to do small pieces like that. When you get to the bigger pieces, you're definitely going to need something to hang your pieces off of. But for now, if you have access to a clothing rack and some hooks, then you can go ahead and do that. So anyways, here we go. And I'm going to show you in detail about the Lark Head knot, and that's what I just did. So, but just give me 1 second so I can just put this on here. And this is just to make me work easier. If you're going to be working on a pillow or a corkboard or the carpet, what you can do after you have these strings hanging from here, you can just stick straight pins in it. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put these on here, and I'm going to be using a Lark Head knot. So what you would do is you would find the center of the string, you would throw it over the next string, put the end of the string through that loop that's hanging over, and you're gonna just pull that through just like that. And you're going to do the same for all the other pieces. So let me show you that again. You are going to find the center of the string. You are going to throw it over the neck piece, put the end through, and pull. Voila! You have some beautiful Lark Head knots. So with the Lark Head knot, the important thing is tension. You want to just make sure that you have the right tension. You want to make sure that it's the way you want it to look. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do these other ones. It 5 lark heads equal 10 strings. So the next part is I left one strand out and I did a square knot. Now we're going to learn how to do the square knot. So, and this is another basic knot, and if you're having difficulty, you can refer to my basic knots YouTube video. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to work with the right, and we're going to put it over the two strings in the middle. The string on the left, we're going to leave it over top of the string on the right. We're going to go under and we're pulling it through. So it's basically a knot over the two strings. And we're going to pull that all the way up to the top. And to complete the square knot, we actually have to do the same thing, but starting from the other side. So we're going to put the left string over the center. We're going to have the right string fall over the left string, behind and through. And we're going to pull that all the way up. And there you have it. You could see the square knot. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're leaving this one out. Right over left. Left behind and through. This time it's left over right. Right behind and through. And pull it up. There we have the two square knots, and it's starting to form. Now we're ready for the bead. So these two strands are going to be holding one bead. So as you know, that hole better work. It better be big enough, right? So here I'm going to grab my foil, and this is the bead. You can see the hole. Okay. So I'm putting these ends of the cord in the middle of the foil, and I am wrapping the foil around. So same kind of technique, I don't know, back in the days when you put beads in your hair, if you ever did. I know I did quite a bit. It's the same technique that we used to use to do that. Now they have more sophisticated contraptions that they use anyhow. So here you go. Put the bead on and put it all the way through. And here we go. All the way up to the top. And then I'm going to do one more square knot after the bead. So I'm pulling the next two and using the two from the middle that the bead is on. And I'm doing right side first. That is my style. I tend to do right side first. So you don't have to follow that. But you'll notice if you're doing macrame pieces and you're not consistent, you'll see that the look is a little bit different if you start from the left side or the right side. So try and be consistent. Okay, so here we go, right over left, left under, up and through. There we go. And again. There we go. All right, so now we're started. The next, we are going to do a half double hitch. So that's this wonderful thing. So it's a little more complicated knot to get a hold of, but I will do a few and talk you through it, and we'll see how it goes. So with the double half hitch, we're going to hold this one. So we want it to be that design, so that's exactly where we're going to hold the string. So in this double half hitch stitch or knot, we are going to work knots on this string. So I'm going to be taking this string and wrapping it over and through. And then I'm going to pull. And we're going to do it again. Over, through, pull. Okay. And now with this design, I think I did, no, I didn't do 3. Okay. Then I take the next string and I would do the exact same thing. And this also is really important. Tension is always important when you're doing knots, whether you're, or any work with string or yarn, right? Tension is everything. If it's too loose, it's not going to look right. If it's too tight, it's not going to look right. But I just feel like with macrame, you can have so much more control. I have knitted, prefer crochet over knitting, and macrame I just love. Anyhow, so over, through, and pull. Over, through, and pull. Should make songs about these stitches. Could be some good trap music. Anyhow, so I'm gonna do that all the way to the middle. So in this last one, you can see that the foil has these two tied together still. So I'm gonna unwrap that, and I might be able to use that foil the next time I need to put the beads on. So over, through, around, pull, over, through, around, and pull. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Over, through, around, and pull. Okay, so now when I get here, what I'm going to do is it's naturally just kind of, this line is falling on top of this, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it with putting this over top. Also, we're going to be extending this all the way through to the other side. So I'm going to continue with that. I'm going to do 2 double half hitch with this, and then for the rest of the strings as well. So this is going to lead where I'm going to do the knots and for the design as well. So here we go. So now you know that there's 5 of these, so it's 5, and then there's 10 strings altogether. So just make sure you're taking the middle. So 2, 4, this is the 5th, and this is going to be leading and continuing this, so it looks like an X. So we're going to be continuing the X. Over, through, and pull. Over, through, and pull. And we are going to do a square knot with the middle 4. So you see 2 coming from this side and 2 coming from this side. Those are the 4 that you want to use. And you are going to take, again, I start from the right consistently. So I'm going to go with the right, over the left, over the right. The left goes behind and through and pull. And we're going to do that on the other side. So the left over the top, the right over the left, the right behind and through, and pull up. And now, as you can see, the next square knot is these 4. So 2 from this one and 2 from this line. Drop the 2 in the middle. Pick up from the right goes over the 2, left goes over the right, through, just like that. Okay. And we're going to finish the square knot. Okay. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so now we are going to put the bead on. We're ready to put the bead on. And now we're going to do the same thing that we did up here. So I'm going to do 2 square knots. I'm going to bring it tight to the bead as possible. And the same one over here. I'm going to have to take the foil off the end of it again. There we go. And here we go, another square knot. I hope you're following along. I hope this is not going too fast for you. I hope you're grasping it. Square knots and lark head knot is what I use in most of my designs. So once you master these, you could do so many wonderful things, so many different designs. It's awesome. Okay, so here we go. There we go. You see that I'm always guiding up and checking for tension. Okay, there we go. So now the next is we're going to go ahead and continue to do half double hitch to make another X like that. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so we get to this middle part again, and there you go, you have it again, where this is falling on top. Naturally, we are going to go ahead and do another X. So I'm going to continue with the double half hitch all the way through. Follow that line right there. Again, you're going to make sure that you're looking at the 5th one. If you do it here, you're going to start it, it's going to look off. You're not going to get that beautiful X in the center like that. So here we are. We're going to follow this line. Ready? And over, up, and through. Slide, over, up, and through. Slide, over, up, and through. Slide, 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 slide. Over, up, and through. Slide. Over, up, and through. Slide. Having too much fun with that. All right. And we are going to do the exact same thing that we did here. So here we go. Just checking my tension. Now we're ready for the bead. All right, now we're ready to do the half double hitch again. And here we go. Remember, this one is I start with 3. And then 2 for the rest. Okay, so there we go. And now comes the finishing. So I'm going to just tilt it down so you can see a little bit better. And so some strings you have shorter than others, but now we're at the finishing. It's fine. So we'll probably cut it to about that length. But we're going to put the beads on it before we cut it anyways. All right, so again, we're going to be putting foil at the end of it, then sticking the bead on, and then we're going to be knotting it after the bead is on. Okay, so I beaded every other one, and that ended up with 5 beads, 1 in the middle. Okay, so this one will get foil, 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 and this one will get foil. So I'm going to put foil on all of them, and then I'm going to put the bead on. And then I'll show you how to knot it and finish it. Here we go. So you could actually measure them if you really want, and if you want to be that specific. I just kind of eyed them. But the next stage is that you want to make sure that you knot underneath it so that the bead will not come up. So the knots, you could just make sure, and you could take the foil off at the same time. The bead is already on. So when you knot it, you just make sure you knot it where the bead was here. So we'll knot it around there. And again, it's just a simple tie, a simple knot. It's a simple tie. So you can kind of do that. You have a loop, put it through. There you have it. And then you can slide it up where you want the knot to be. So you just want it to be above the other one for that design. So there you go. This one, you want to make sure it's knotted all the way at the top. So I'm just going to push it all the way up. There we go. And then this one, you want to try and make sure that you tie it in the same place, just so that it's measured up to the one on the opposite side, so it's symmetrical. Okay. There we go. And the final knot. There we go. Doesn't look exactly the same. I need to bring this one down a little bit, so I'm going to loosen the knot. Slide it down just a tad bit. There we go. All right, so now that that's all done, I'm going to cut it according to the shortest string, which is right here. So I am just eyeing it. If you want, you can lay it down on a flat surface and cut it, and make sure you're cutting it straight with a ruler or a level or whatever you choose. I just eye it. I don't believe in perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. It's just an illusion, figment of your imaginations. So what I did with this one is I untwisted the ends a little bit. So the one with the bead, I untwisted it all the way to the knot. And these ones, I just kind of untwisted it according to the lowest knot. So here we go. Now you can take it off the stick. So if you were doing it on the floor, once you get to putting the lark's head knot, this is where you could stick pins so that when you're working flat, you still have that pull so that you can work and tie your knots and make sure that they are the right tension. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know how it went for you in the comment section below. Where I get the macrame cord will be in the description below, as well as the measurements and the, where I got the beads, etc. All right. Thanks a lot.